So, yeah, in what is a massive, massive news, massive news. So, I was originally going to make a video about NECA, but it turns out that the biggest news is it's not even NECA, it's their teammate. Some people thought, oh, NECA and Skylar could be a package deal. However, the rumor now seems to be, again, shout out Roberta. She's posted some wild things, absolutely wild things before, but like, you know what? She seems to know something. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, when we're talking about the like actual, reporters who are breaking news, after Annie and Alexa, Roberta's number 3, and she might even be higher based on this current offseason. That being said, like, we have to talk about Skylar Diggins to the Chicago Sky. And that could potentially be one of the craziest moves ever. Genuinely. Could be one of the craziest moves that's we've ever seen in basketball. Like, the Chicago Sky might be cooking this offseason. Like, could you imagine if they go out with, again, one of the rumors is Azare. Could you imagine if they go out next season with Skylar Diggins, Flaw J. Johnson, Rickea Jackson, Azare Stevens, and Camila Cardoso? It's a playoff team, And then you have Atlanta's picks. That's a playoff team. And they have the money for it. Because a lot of their team are on minimums. Like, it's a mad one. It is genuinely just a mad situation all around. And now we're looking at a team or like a player in Skylar Diggins who's obviously just been a fantastic player in her career, is one of the GOATs. And I think people are like, oh, is she going to look for a title, or is she going to try and, get paid? And I'm sorry, like, there's no, like, it's get paid. It's get paid. For 90% of players, it's going to be getting paid. Especially when the most you made is $200K a year. And you can get $1.2 million for playing for Chicago. But, like, it is now a mad situation because the Sky all of a sudden look like legitimately competent. They look like they're going to be a competent team next year. Good team. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah, I'll use the word good to describe them. I'll use the word good to describe them right now. And when you've now got Skylar Diggins, who was an all-star point guard last year, and everyone being like, oh, like, surely Skylar Diggins wants to win. I'm sorry, like, the Sky are going to be better than the Storm. Like, the Sky are genuinely going to be better than the Storm. Like, they really might have cooked. They really might have. They really might have cooked. Like, it's at the stage now where Skylar Diggins, or like the Sky were plus 2,000 to make the playoffs 2 days ago. And if they somehow trade for Rickea Jackson, bring in Skylar Diggins, and also find a way that they can make, they can bring in another max contract player, like to pair with Camila Cardoso, or find a max contract wing and have Rickea Jackson. I don't know if they're going to go all out giant or they're going to play Rickea Jackson small ball. And then if you look at the position they're in the draft, you're then looking at potentially Flaw J. Johnson, who is a legitimately great pick. Like, that would be a fantastic pick for Flaw J. Johnson. And that's the way I'm looking at it right now. Like, everyone's talking about Skylar Diggins potentially going into the Chicago Sky. Like, a lot of people thought it was going to be Jewel Lloyd. That was going to go to Sky. But Diggins makes way more sense. Way more sense. And not only that, like, everyone being like the Sky aren't contenders. Yeah, they're not contenders. Not every single team's a contender. Like, there's a chance, like the Storm were 500 last year. There's a chance they're as good as last year's Storm. Like, there is a chance the Chicago Sky can build a team that goes 500 next year. There is. There genuinely is. Like, I think Tyler Marsh is a good coach. I don't really care what anyone says. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good player. We don't know about how he is as a game coach, but he's a good player coach. And he got all this. And for me, I'm looking at this like, are these players that didn't want to play with Angel? Not that I think Skylar Diggins is a problem with Angel, because I don't think she does. But was the Angel Reese trade, like, if they can somehow pull in a playoff team, we have to question, because they could have had Angel Reese on top of this. You have to question, do these players want to come in and play with Angel Reese? Like, there's a big difference between them coming in or interacting with Angel Reese as a human and wanting to play 44 games that are on your team and wanting to deal with all the crap that comes along with that. When you can get paid and not have to deal with that. But yeah, we have to take into account that could be a possibility. I'm not going to say it is. I don't really think, I don't really think that that's the case, but it has to at least be talked about. But this is mental. It is absolutely mental. If the Sky can suddenly turn it around and 180 on their entire team, and not only 180 on their entire team, like they 180 on their team and go from being a last place team to a playoff team, because they kind of have to. Because at the end of the day, if they're not like a playoff team, they lose their pick. Like, they have to be better than the Mystics. Like, it's as simple as that. They have to be a better team than the Washington Mystics. And that is what they're clearly going out to do. If they are not the better, like, if they are the better team than the Washington Mystics, then pretty much they turned Sonia Citron into Rickea Jackson. Or they picked that may or may not have been Citron. Heck, they could have fucked about and took an Issa Morrow. They turned Sonia Citron into like Rickea Jackson, which is fine, which is objectively fine. If the pick doesn't convey, if all of this panicking and the pick ends up not conveying, and to be honest, if they sign Skylar Diggins, even if they don't sign Skylar Diggins, it's going to be better than last year. Like, they had Rachel Bannon running the point last year. No matter what, they're going to be better than last year. They're genuinely going to be better than last year. And yeah, it is a really interesting scenario. And also, again, shout out Roberta. I mean, I guess when she's not calling Caitlin Clark a teenage boy and talking about how Paige and AZ gives her faith in humanity, she's breaking WNBA news, and which most of the media aren't. So fair play to her. So anyway, I'll see you guys.